one about this, I'll fucking kill you. I'm kidding. We'll come back by tonight. Okay, sweetie?
Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Film Vault, where today we're going to be counting down 20 insane facts about instant frat classic Old School. From hilarious improv moments to casting secrets to hidden cameos and surprising facts that even longtime fans may have missed, there's more to this cult classic than meets the eye. Number 20. Before making Old School, director Todd Phillips had worked on a project called Frat House in 1998. It was a documentary that joined fraternities to film their hazing rituals. The film won the Grand Jury Prize at the Sundance Film Festival, and HBO bought it. However, frat members and Muhlenberg College claimed that some scenes were staged. HBO then shelved the film, and it's never been shown. Frat House was only the beginning. At Sundance, Ivan Reitman, the producer who made the legendary Animal House, saw the documentary and knew Phillips had what it took to bring back frat comedy. Together, they made Road Trip in the year 2000 and then went on to do Old School. Funnily enough, the 2003 college comedy that became a cult classic only exists because the real inside look at college life was deemed too controversial to air.
I don't know how you could still be depressed. This is probably the best thing that's ever happened to us.
Us?
Yeah, us. Look, do not get selfish on me here. Okay, now stay with me.
Number 19. The idea for Old School started with a simple conversation. Phillips had a friend in advertising named Court Crandall who was inspired by the documentary he made, and one day, Crandall casually said, "You know what would be funny? Is a movie about older guys who start a fraternity of their own." That one line lit the spark for the movie, and Crandall earned the story by credit. From there, Phillips would team up with Scott Armstrong to write the screenplay, and they spent about 2 months at Ivan Reitman's house turning the concept into a hilarious comedy that we know today. Phillips described the process as a comedy writing boot camp, and Armstrong used his own college frat days in Peoria as inspiration. He remembered how the brutal cold and boredom during those years had led to truly wild and creative ideas.
Fraternity solves both of those, right?
But this is my house. I live here, Beanie. I'm 30 years old. None of us are enrolled in the college.
Okay, I understand.
Makes no sense.
Number 18. The studio had their doubts about Vince Vaughn playing Beanie in the movie. They didn't think he could pull off comedy. After his role in Swingers, he had shifted to doing serious drama, like the 1998 remake of Psycho. DreamWorks believed that he was only a dramatic actor and would not be funny at all. Vaughn had said in an interview with Variety that they didn't think he could do comedy, but Todd Phillips was not about to give up so easily. He and Scott Armstrong had actually written the Beanie role with Vaughn in mind. Phillips believed that Vaughn was the perfect guy for the job, and to convince the studio, Phillips told them to watch Vaughn's appearances on The Late Show with David Letterman. Vaughn had crushed it during those interviews, proving that he had amazing comedic timing. Todd had pushed hard for Vaughn, showing everyone that he could absolutely land the joke, and we know how it all turned out. You're still here, so that means you're enjoying the video. Go ahead and give it a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on the next one.
Look, please don't beat yourself up over this thing, Mitch. It's not your fault. Damn it, Blue was old.
Number 17. By 2003, Will Ferrell was ready to take a big leap because for 7 years he had viewers laughing on Saturday Night Live but had not yet headlined a film of his own. He co-led A Night at the Roxbury back in '98 while still on SNL, and that all changed when Old School hit theaters in February of 2003. It would be his first leading role after leaving the show, and only 10 months later in December, Elf came out and cemented his status as a true movie star. 2003 was a launching pad for his career. Critics could not stop talking about him, even if they weren't crazy about the movie. Legendary critic Roger Ebert only gave Old School 1 star, but had to admit Ferrell's performance stood out. He complimented Ferrell's nice work as Frank the Tank, a guy who couldn't resist taking off his clothes. This crazy and fearless performance became the foundation of Will Ferrell's career. Number 16. There were no stunt doubles in the streaking scene. Will really did it. Wearing only sneakers and a small pouch, he ran straight down a normal street past people who were walking their dogs. Ferrell said that one of the places he ran by was a 24-hour gym, and when he dropped his robe, the people inside screamed and ran to the windows, only to quickly back away. He took that as a sign of approval. The drunkenness in the movie was not always pretend. Farrell admitted in an interview that he needed some liquid courage before the streaking scene, and being naked that close to Snoop Dogg, he would go on to say, was more intimidating than anything. Sources differ on how drunk he actually was.
Sorry, we're going streaking through the quad and into the gymnasium. Come on, everybody!
Number 15. The fraternity house is at 1803 Bushnell Avenue in South Pasadena, a street famous in Hollywood history. Only a few houses down is Biff Tannen's house from Back to the Future Part 2, and nearby you can also find George and Lorraine McFly's 1955 homes from the first Back to the Future movie. Even more surprising is that Will Ferrell said it was actually his house, a small craftsman house in Pasadena. He joked about how filming ruined the hardwood floors with all the equipment, and even mentioned how his wife was furious after seeing the mess from Mitchapalooza. The wreckage would leave behind a wild party scene and a real impact on their home. Property records hint that Ferrell may have sold the home later, but whether it was truly his at the time or not is a story that's worth telling. Number 14. Todd Phillips had a clever plan to get Snoop Dogg into the movie. He knew that Snoop really wanted to play Huggy Bear in his Starsky and Hutch adaptation, and that's when he came up with an idea. He said that he wanted him to do Huggy Bear, but he also needed to do something for him in Old School. It was a deal that Snoop could not resist, and just like that, he was in the movie. Snoop's cameo became unforgettable. He showed up at Mitchapalooza as himself, joining the wild frat party scene. One of the funniest moments is when Frank shouts, "Come on, Snoop, Snoop-a-loop, bring your green hat." The scene is chaotic and hilarious, making Snoop's appearance one of the film's standout moments.
Come on, Snoop! Snoop-a-loop! Snoop! Hey, no, it's cool. I'm cool. Bring your green hat. Let's go.
Number 13. While Will Ferrell and Vince Vaughn went all out with their wild performances, Luke Wilson stayed calm and steady. He played the straight man, which is not an easy job in a comedy, and nailed it fast. He was so good that most of his scenes were done in only one take, including the big opening homecoming scene. Because of that, the crew began calling him One Take Wilson, which says a lot about how sharp and focused he was on set. Todd Phillips and Scott Armstrong believe that his performance kept the movie grounded. Armstrong said that Luke had a natural existential angst in his acting, something that Wes Anderson noticed in Bottle Rocket and Rushmore. The quality made his character Mitch feel real and relatable, allowing his co-stars to push boundaries and go wild in their own roles. Being the straight man is one of the hardest jobs in a movie, and Luke showed that his role was all in the balance of the craziness. Number 12. Snoop Dogg decided to host an impromptu party in his trailer and invited some people from the cast for some video games and late-night fun. Laughter and excitement filled the trailer as the group enjoyed the break, but while the party raged on, something unexpected was going on nearby. Vince Vaughn took a break and wandered over to check on Luke Wilson. Wilson was in his own trailer, sitting alone and watching the news. Nobody had thought to invite him to the party. It was a small but telling moment that mirrored his role in the movie. While the rest of the cast was wild, Luke was calm and introspective both on and off the set. Number 11. Before the word Wolfpack became famous in The Hangover, it had already been a thing on this set. Ferrell, Vaughn, and Wilson gave themselves the nickname, bonding over their constant jokes and teasing. These three actors did not hold back when it came to roasting each other. One of their favorite jokes was aimed at Luke Wilson, and Ferrell could not resist poking fun at him for his role in Legally Blonde, playfully calling it Legally Bland. Wilson was not one to stay quiet and fired back at Ferrell with a sharp comeback, saying that Ferrell should keep one foot back in TV just in case the whole movie thing falls through. It's hard not to laugh at the exchange, especially knowing how successful that both of them became after the film. Number 10. The man who had played Joseph Blue Pulaski in the film had quite a surprising story. Patrick Cranshaw had been in the business for decades. With around 100 screen credits to his name, his career stretched all the way back to the 1950s. You may have seen him as the nervous bank teller in Bonnie and Clyde, or as the eccentric dog owner in Best in Show, but despite the roles, fame did not find him until he was in his early 80s. It would not be until Old School came along that Cranshaw became a pop culture icon, all thanks to the unforgettable line, "You're my boy Blue." Fans loved it so much that they started to say it to him wherever he went, and sadly he passed away in 2005, but not before leaving a lasting mark on Hollywood.
Yes, sir.
Do you trust that I do not want to see you die here tonight?
Sir, yes, sir.
Blue, you're my boy!
Thank you, sir.
Number 9. The iconic earmuff scene was not in the script. Vince Vaughn improv the entire bit on the spot. Vaughn and Will Ferrell had worked together to create a backstory for their characters before filming began, and knowing their characters so well gave Vaughn the confidence to ad-lib during the scene where he tells a kid to cover his ears or earmuff so that he can swear. Vaughn would later explain that the scene where he swears in front of the kids and then tells the kid to earmuff is all off the cuff. Fans loved the line so much it quickly became one of the most quoted moments of the film.
Max, can you earmuff it for me? We are gonna get so much ass here, it's gonna be sick. I'm talking like crazy, like boy band ass.
Number 8. The climactic debate scene in the movie drops a big surprise. The guest debater is James Carville, a real-life Democratic strategist playing himself. It's wild to see a political figure like him jump into the mix, but it gets even crazier. Frank, who is completely blacked out, somehow wins the debate with an answer so memorable he doesn't even remember saying it. Phillips made sure the movie was full of faces that people would recognize, and that's why you see rappers like Snoop Dogg and Warren G making appearances, along with Bishop Don Magic Juan. Andy Dick even shows up, though he doesn't get a credit, playing a loud and ridiculous hazing instructor. Number 7. When Mitch takes Nicole out to show her he's a really nice guy, they head to a diner that may look familiar to movie fans. It's the Quality Cafe at 1236 West 7th Street in downtown LA. The diner's been featured in a long list of popular movies and shows, like Seven, Training Day, Ghost World, and a whole lot more. In its later years, the diner wasn't even open for business. It wasn't a real working restaurant anymore. Instead, it became more of a hidden secret for filmmakers. Despite not serving food, it stayed perfectly intact, like a frozen moment in time. Location scouts love it, and directors keep coming back to use the iconic booth and setting for their scenes. It was like the room had a life of its own in Hollywood. Everything finally came to an end around 2006 when it shut its doors for good, but if you look back at the movies, you'll realize this one room has been on screen more times than anyone would guess. Number 6. The band tearing apart Bonnie Tyler's Total Eclipse of the Heart with their improv swearing is none other than the Dan Band. Led by Dan Finnerty, they're a real Hollywood nightclub act famous for their wild and raunchy covers of songs originally sung by women. It may seem like a one-time crazy thing, but it's far from that. Finnerty's comedic talent caught the eye of Todd Phillips and led to something much bigger. Finnerty is married to actress Kathy Najimy and became Phillips's good luck charm. You may notice him showing up again in other big hits like Starsky and Hutch and The Hangover. If you're watching a Todd Phillips film and see a lounge singer taking things to the next level, chances are it's Dan. Number 5. The year before Terry O'Quinn became famous as John Locke on Lost, he had a small but unforgettable role in Old School, playing Goldberg, Mitch's boss, in an uncredited part that was filmed over 2 days. It was such a quick job he didn't even talk about it much. Most people probably wouldn't even recognize him in the movie, considering what a short moment that it was. But the crazier part is that he never told his own sons that he was in the film. Imagine their surprise when they were watching Old School and suddenly saw their dad. They were so shocked that they called him in, confused and curious, asking him what he was doing there. How's that for a hidden gem from the movie world?
Listen, Donald tells me you got these guys working prep for the arbitration. Now, I told you 5 times I want them working the Sunshine Square deal.
Well,
Number 4. The Harrison University you see in the movie is not real. The impressive shot of the campus is actually Harvard, but from above. The trick here is that Todd Phillips reused aerial footage from Harvard in his previous 2000 movie Road Trip. But if you're looking for ground scenes, you're not going to find them. Most of the actual filming took place at UCLA and USC. Here's a fun connection to another film. Remember Frank's wedding in Old School? That scene was shot at Westminster Presbyterian Church in Pasadena. And if it looks familiar, it's the same church where Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson crashed a wedding in the 2005 movie Wedding Crashers, only 2 years later. Number 3. The fraternity in the movie may look like a random group of guys, but if you pay attention, you'll spot surprising faces. Simon Helberg, who became famous as Howard on The Big Bang Theory, plays Jerry. Then there's Patrick J. Adams, long before he was the sharp lawyer Mike Ross on Suits, popping up as Patch. It's hard to believe, but at that time they were small roles for actors who would soon make it big. And remember Nicole, Mitch's love interest? She's played by Ellen Pompeo, and the role came just 2 years before she took on her iconic part as Meredith Grey on Grey's Anatomy. It turns out that Old School was a secret launching pad for future legends, something that nobody noticed back then.
We can only buy KY jelly in the 4-ounce tubes. Industrial-sized cans will take up to 3 to 4 business days minimum, so we're screwed.
What's all that for?
It's Blue's birthday. We're having a KY wrestling match.
Number 2. Rob Corddry is now a big name in comedy, but made his film debut in Old School. He was a correspondent on The Daily Show at the time, and his part in the film included a wild scene that left nothing to the imagination. For the scene, he had to sign a nudity clause, giving filmmakers the right to use his nude image in any part of the universe, in any form, even that which is not devised. Rob's scene was no easy task. Even though he wore a small pouch for protection, his bare backside still ended up on screen. Imagine being a newbie actor and having to agree to something that bold. This wild moment marked the beginning of an incredible career in the movies. Number 1. The sequel to Old School almost happened in 2006 when Armstrong wrote a follow-up called Old School Dose. This time, the story would have sent the older frat members on a wild spring break adventure. Luke Wilson was ready to join, but Will Ferrell and Vince Vaughn were not on board. Ferrell admitted the script had some super funny set pieces, but they felt like it was repeating the same storyline. Because of that, the idea would be dropped, and the original movie stayed as a standalone classic. Even though there's no sequel, the spirit of the film lives on. Todd Phillips would name his production company Green Hat Films. Fans believe it was inspired by Frank's famous streaking line, "Bring your green hat." While Phillips has not confirmed it, the connection is hard to ignore. Green Hat Films would go on to produce major hits like The Hangover and Joker. Now, I know you love this video, so be sure to smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe so that you know every time we upload another video like this. If you have any recommendations, feel free to let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.